Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Films. My name is American Ben. Among the many great lessons that come from the Humanity First Codebook, perhaps what stands out to me more than any other line are the words that recount how the great hero of humanity, Kevin Smith, became the first to lay his life down in the battle against the Xenos. Legend has it, as he hurled himself ablaze into a pack of hungry aliens, he uttered the words that would come to give the later armies of humanity hope. Quote, "Well, this is gonna suck." And I know that doesn't seem glorious, but indeed it is. That knowing he would face indescribable suffering before his untimely end, he still launched himself into the jaws of the Xenos in order to take out a few before they could get their filthy claws on another beautiful human head. And it is said that as they crunched on his bones, in the middle of his shrieks, there was a certain resolve to his brow that revealed conviction in his sacrifice. See, this is the whole point. We're deep into this Strongest Alien series now, and a lot of you seem to get mad when we list too many advantages of the alien species being covered. Today, it doesn't get any better either. We're covering the Eldar, an alien race seemingly far more advanced than humans in just about every important area. Except for, of course, being human. Hey, I don't like to have to think about alien advantages either, but I'm simply relaying the truth. There are a lot of alien species out there that are great threats to humanity. But what counts is that you're willing to fight back. So today we take a look at the flaws and advantages of the Eldar for the sake of your knowledge and mine. Please remember, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We start, as always, with the advantages. The Eldar are a psychic species, and not in some basic bitch way like the Tyranids are through a hive mind. Eldar all have the potential to become powerful psychic beings on an individual level. Eldar psykers are beings that can shape matter and interact with the most mysterious energies in the universe. Eldar are, for all intents and purposes, a mental step ahead of all other alien species. This is why, according to the Humanity First Codebook, Exterminatus is not a last resort, but should be the option humanity always begins with, and from there the plausibility of less extreme alternatives can be considered. It's a simple formula, friends. If aliens can read our minds, they'll know our plans. If they know our plans, we're dead. And believe it or not, if we're dead, we can't fight aliens. The Eldar don't just make technology, they live it. Their innovations are inextricably linked with their psychic abilities. To the Eldar, there is no difference between nature and technology. Their tech is alive, and what is alive they endow with function. The Eldar use a variety of supernatural materials in their innovations that take the form of biological structures and grow and react in their environment akin to plants. The Eldar have an ability called psychomorphism, which is a tool under the larger tent of their psychic abilities. Through this ability, the Eldar can shape matter. Another psychic tool the Eldar have is psychokinesis, which allows them to move objects using their minds. Together, psychomorphism and psychokinesis allow the Eldar to construct and form their technology. Eldar warships don't have the menacing build of Imperial Navy ships, but make no mistake, they have perhaps the most capable fleet in the entire galaxy. Their ships aren't equipped with human technologies, but they're still way more advanced than anything humans have in their navy. Rather than adamantium, their ships are made from wraithbone, a warp-borne construction material made from crystallized psychic energy that can exist as a solid in real space that is molded by Eldari bone singers concentrating their thoughts and intent upon it. Wraithbone can be grown into any shape the Eldari can imagine, and it is incredibly difficult to damage and even capable of self-repair. Wraithbone itself contains innate psychic shielding that thus envelops Eldari vessels even from warp-level evil. Eldar ships also don't bother with inferior plasma drives for subluminal propulsion, but instead have massive solar sails that collect the light of stars, which in turn propels the ships through space with great speed and maneuverability. Eldar ships also don't employ void shields for protection, instead relying on hollow fields, which disrupt the targeting sensors of enemy ships by creating multiple ghost ships in a given area of space. The lack of void shields might make Eldar ships vulnerable when impacted, but thanks to the holo shields, they are nearly impossible to pick out and hit. Craftworlds are unique planet-sized spacecrafts that the Eldar have innovated to help maintain their species. Since the fall of the heart of the Eldar Empire, Craftworlds have been responsible for carrying the surviving members of the species, and each ship houses hundreds of extended Eldar families. Would be a shame if someone were to exterminatus one of them. The Craftworlds are built out from a skeleton of wraithbone, the core of which pumps energy throughout the entire ship, including psychic energy. In this way, these self-sufficient ship worlds are living entities that operate and interact with their inhabitants psychically. Craftworlds house a plethora of offensive and defensive combat capabilities, but they're so big they often need to be invaded as encroaching forces might a planet. Craftworlds might not seem like they can compare to the powerful ships of other 40k navies, but the advantage here is that the Craftworlds allow the Eldar to decentralize themselves and live on the move, going wherever they need to be in the galaxy in order to survive. The Eldar's main anti-personnel weapons are Shuriken weapons of a variety of different types and forms, from catapults to cannons. The weapons use gravitic pulses to launch monomolecular discs of plasticrystal at targets at deadly velocities. I don't know what half of what I just said means, but it sounds alien, and thus I don't like it. These weapons have greater rate of fire than many human firearms, and their razor-sharp projectiles can pierce thick metal. These weapons don't have great accuracy or range, but this hardly matters, as given the speed of the Eldar and their vehicles, they can close on a target very quickly. The Eldar, well, at least non-dark Eldar, are often considered to be refined, civilized aliens. Okay, quick test. A civilized alien is A, an alien that is humane on the battlefield, B, an alien that doesn't kill, or C, an alien that is willing to fight for humanity. Okay, I'll let you think for a second. Dun 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 dun. The answer is D. You're all heretics for even engaging in an exercise that posits a scenario in which an alien can be considered civilized. You mar the name of His Holiness the Emperor, you bastards. Now finish watching this video, but as soon as it's over, you will be hearing from the Inquisition. I digress, as I always do. Yes, the Eldar are a species on the brink of collapse, and yes, some would say that's a flaw, but actually it is what makes them such fearsome foes. They have long been surrounded by war, which alone has made them great warriors out of necessity, but thanks to their empire hanging on a thread, Eldar are pushed to walk the path of the warrior. The result is a militarized, high-intelligence psychic alien society. Young Eldar are often eager to join the warrior ranks and bring the Eldari back to glory. Both sexes contribute to the Eldar armies as well, meaning that their entire population can be utilized for war. Eldar society is not some simple vertical structure of power with a crazy tyrant at the top and mindless grunts at the bottom. There is rife specialization among the Eldar, so much so that we would need an entire video to thoroughly explain their ranks. They have autarchs, who are war commanders that lead Eldar war hosts, farseers, who are the most gifted psychers, phoenix lords, who are a class of the greatest Eldar warriors, warlocks, who are former warriors now become psychers, and the list goes on and on. Some specializations of which have various sub-levels as well. All of the different special classes and groups have different responsibilities in the Empire, and work in coordination with each other, providing balance to Eldar society. There is some level of meritocracy among the Eldar, where individuals can pursue their path of greatest potential. The Eldar also maintain an arsenal of capable atmospheric vehicles, the epitome of which is their diverse array of Grav-tanks, each with special abilities. Eldar Grav-tanks are impeccably built machines, and if Eldar technology is already galactically superior, these aeronautical juggernauts are their shining stars. Their firepower is beyond deadly, but at the same time they maneuver with a grace unexpected of such lethal crafts. Grav-tanks offer the Eldar a superlative ability to break open battle lines and overwhelm enemy forces. Get your vomit bags out, because I'm about to throw something out at you. Aliens using robots to kill humans. It doesn't get any worse or more threatening to humanity than that. Often the Eldar don't even have to do the dirty work of ground skirmishes at all, despite being fully capable of such. This is thanks to their Wraithguards, robotic constructs made from wraithbone that can engage in combat. They are armed with wraith cannon, short-range weapons that when fired open small warp rifts that suck their targets into the immaterium. Of course, given that they are made from wraithbone, a supernatural self-repairing substance, Wraithguards can absorb lethal amounts of damage and yet continue to fight. And if that's not enough, the Eldar have Wraith Lords as well, giant mecha versions of Wraithguards that are so strong that even the heaviest of weapons have trouble penetrating their armor. You're probably wondering if the Eldar have any flaws at all. Well, it's not a pretty picture, but there is a reason that their civilization is on the brink of collapse after all. First, though they might not seem it, they are not a species of moderate minds. Instead, they tend to polarize towards extremes. An easy way to think about this is the Eldar psyche is similar to that of a human but more intense. Whereas a human can feel emotions like joy or anger, an Eldar would feel those same emotions to a far greater degree. On one hand, this means that the Eldar are extremely intelligent and self-aware, and can experience positive feelings to a level unimaginable to humans. But the same is also true for negative feelings, and as such, the Eldar can often find themselves in states of extreme mental anguish. One can see where this can drive their society to destruction. An abundance of extreme negative emotions like anger and despair can turn them towards their darker natures, a la the Dark Eldar. On the other hand, extreme positive feelings like joy can push the Eldar to become hedonistic and reckless. This is why the Eldar adhere to something known as the Path, a rigid system of self-discipline that calls for restraint from sensation-seeking and emotional extremes. Thus, the Eldar seem wise and disciplined, but they are always one emotion away from reverting back onto a course towards disaster. So yeah, a good way to defeat the Eldar is to send them a bunch of gold, wenches, ice cream, and Edgar Allan Poe anthologies. This flaw was born of the previous one. As many of you know, Slaanesh is a chaos god, the prince of pleasure. Back when the Eldari Empire reached its height, their society became rich with hedonism and decadence. The Eldari lost themselves in their excess, and their spirits became corrupted. Over time, psychic reflections of this corruption collected in the warp, and created a new chaos power, now known as Slaanesh. Slaanesh in turn began to feed on the perverted psyche of the Eldari, driving them into deeper and deeper darkness until their empire fell apart. As we've discussed, the Eldar have figured out a way to control their inclination towards extremes through self-discipline. But Slaanesh still continues to threaten their world through their minds, all the while their society teeters on the edge of a cliff. Finally, despite an advanced fleet of ships, the Eldar cannot travel at faster than light speeds as other species in 40k do. The Eldar can't traverse the warp in a conventional manner, because they don't have any equivalent of navigators as humans do for guidance through the realm of chaos. Don't get me wrong, it's great that they don't have to travel through the treacherous warp. Instead, they use the Webway for interstellar travel, a vast network of doorways connected through the warp between points in real space. The Eldar can use the Webway to move through space much faster than other 40k navies. However, much of the Webway has fallen into disrepair, with many pathways and doors being broken or sealed. This means the Eldar often have to make connecting stops on their journeys in order to get to their destinations. There also sometimes just isn't a warp gate near an Eldar's destination. Both of these factors mean Eldar travel time can be delayed by years. Okay, it's time to vote for the Eldar. Click right in the top corner in order to rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. And leave a comment down below saying something interesting. I'm bored. Anyways, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. For now, my name is American Ben, and I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.